Hello, good people of the world. My name is Crys'Dawna. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell so you get all the latest videos I put out. Today, we are going to get neon-y. Is that even a word? Neon-y. Neon-y. We're going to be using some Daydream Apothecary colors and we are going to transform this chest into something super bright, colorful, bold, and I hope you guys are here for it because I'm here for it. It's going to be fun. So if you guys want to see that, stay here. In this video, I'm going to just let it all go. I'm going to be painting with neons. You guys are going to probably see me painting over hardware, something that I don't normally do. But I needed creative freedom, and this was the piece for me to do it. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. I cleaned the piece really well with the GreenEz Cleaner, and then I did do a light scuff sand on this as well before I started in on painting it. But this pink paint that's on here was from a few months ago, and that GreenEz Cleaner, although it's green, it was still able to pull that paint off, so I concentrated a little bit on getting that off. And then I went in with a different paint line rather than the neon. So first I did a base coat of some texture, and I used the I Love Hue line, and the color is Love Potion. And what I did is I mixed that with salt wash, and I wanted some texture underneath the neons, and I also wanted to be able to pull it back a little bit and show that purple because that purple is beautiful. So I did this Love Potion, and then I also went in with Whiskey Rose, and what I did is I created texture with both of those colors, and I put it all over the base of this piece so that way we could have texture, and that way when I pull it back later on with the plastic scraper, you'll be able to see some of those colors come through, and then it just creates a cool base for this. You could totally skip this and do a base layer of a lighter color if you wanted to, but this is how thick I have my mixture of the salt wash and the paint, and I'm just going to take a cheap chip brush and I'm going to go over the entire piece. And yes, you're going to see me go over the hardware. Every so often you will see me paint hardware or you'll see me paint hinges, and that is because it goes with the feel of the piece. So this piece is going to be rustic, it's going to be chippy. I'm not worried about if later on down the road some of the paint chips off of maybe one of the handles, or if it did have hinges. And so understand that when I do this, it's based on each piece. So I also took Whiskey Rose and I created a texture formula, and then I just went over the other areas with that. So I used both of these colors, went over the entire piece, and then I waited for it to completely dry before I went in with the neons. Looks scary, I know, but remember, I always tell you guys, trust the process. Trust it. So we're going to wait for that to totally dry, and then we'll go in with our neons. But you can see some of the texture and the colors that we will be able to see a little bit underneath of those neons later on. I want this piece to be layered and just full of texture and character. So these neons are called La La Love You, Sundance, Four Boys Blue, Mom's Night Out, Hot Damn Violet, and So Full of Sunshine. I am going to be using the entire line on this. And the first thing I did was take La La Love You, and I randomly placed it. So I'm going to randomly place these. Now, what you need to understand about the neons is they are pretty translucent. So you're going to need a few layers, and that's why you really need to have a base layer underneath. And so with the dark one, it's not as bright. If you had white underneath there, which it comes with it. So Daydream Apothecary carries a color called Ground Control, which is a white base. You don't have to use a white base, but when you do this, these neons are a little bit more sheer, they're a little bit more translucent, and once they dry, they just brighten right in front of you. It's kind of insane. So this color also is Mom's Night Out is what I'm doing, and I'm just layering it over top of it. And I'm going to end up putting about 2 coats of this on here because I still do want to see that the colors underneath that we did. I want to be able to still see that purple and that pink that we did, but I really want this piece to be neon and bright. So you've got the La La Love You underneath, you've got the Mom's Night Out, which is almost like that coral color, and then I'm going to go in with Sundance, which is the orange neon color, and I'm just going to blend them into each other and layer over top. The next color I'm going to take is So Full of Sunshine, and that's the yellow neon color, and I'm going to just put that up in the corner, and I'm going to overlap that with Sundance. Now you can see that you can really see the base underneath, but again, you want to do a couple layers of this, and when these dry, they actually dry to a chalky finish, and they almost richen in color and brighten in color, so then you won't be able to see the coat underneath quite as much. I really found that I only really needed a couple layers of these neons, and they really took over the piece, which I super, super loved. The next color I used was For Boys Blue, and what's really cool about this is when I layered this over top of So Full of Sunshine, it created a lime green neon. So you're gonna see, I'm gonna put that For Boys Blue, overlap the So Full of Sunshine, which is the yellow, and then I'm going to take some of that yellow and I'm going to put it back over that blue, and you can see that it's creating a green color. What I really, really like about these paints is that they are chalk clay paints, and so they layer really nice, they blend really nice. I find it really, really hard to try to muddy these colors. I've really tested these and they don't muddy very easily. So the next color is Mom Nights Out, and I'm just kind of layering that over top of everything, and that blue is still wet. So I'm just doing like a dry brush over it, and then now I'm using Hot Damn Violet, and I'm just layering this all over. And like I said, I just created on this piece. I don't have a rhyme or reason of why I put things where I did. I just, I just really needed to be able to freely create on this piece and not worry about anything. So that is what I did with this piece. I just took all the colors and I layered them all on top of each other and just let my artistic, I let it be my therapy. So that color is Sundance. Once I laid down the first layer of all of my neons, I just went through and I added different colors. That one was La La Love You a little bit. Then I took Mom's Night Out and added a little bit of that. And so then I did Sundance. What I'm doing here is kind of creating a little bit of a rainbow blend in between those two drawers. So that one was So Full of Sunshine. And then I'm going to take For Boys Blue and create, you can see that I created basically a rainbow going across. So that was Hot Damn Violet. And I just did that randomly on the piece. What would a neon piece be without that paint splatter that we loved so much in the 80s and 90s? So I am taking a cheap chip brush, I dip a little bit in, and I just fan it with my finger, and that creates that paint splatter. And then I'm going to take a plastic scraper, and you can see I'm going to pull a little bit back, so I'm going to create a little bit of chippiness. And so if I want to expose the wood, I'll push a little bit harder to pull that back. This neon paint is a little bit damp still, so you don't want to wait for it to completely dry because you want to be able to pull it back a little bit easier. So it is a little bit damp, and I'm going over some of the thicker areas where I put that texture, and now you can see that I'm revealing some of that purple underneath. I'm scraping back a little bit so that it has an authentic worn look. And that is what I did with the plastic scraper. So you'll be able to see I'm starting to pull back a little bit, and you can see that purple and that pink that I put underneath these neon colors. And this just adds even more dimension. So I randomly added colors on the top, and I took that plastic scraper and I'm just pulling all those colors over top of each other and into each other to really create an awesome look. So you can see how that blue and that Mom's Night Out is overlapping, and really that is how easy it is to create a look like that. I'm just taking it and I'm making sure that it's flat. You can see some of that darker purple, some of that darker pink, and it just looks super, super cool. I just wanted to take the time to show you guys how I did the side. And so I'm just gonna let some cool music play. Once everything was dry, I waited about 24 hours and I went in with Daydream Apothecary's Dreamcoat and I sealed the entire thing in, including the handles and everything. And man, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. If not, that's okay too. I just really, really loved creating this. Here she is, Miss America. Okay, here's my piece. Not everybody's style. Do I care? No. You know why? Because I really, really enjoyed doing this and it just gave me creative freedom. It made me feel really good inside. And so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. And if you love neons, look at that. I'm gonna have some staged photos here in a second. But my point is that art is about expression, and that is exactly what I did here. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Even if it's not your colors, you can appreciate somebody else's art or just watching someone create. So until next time, remember guys, Daydream Apothecary is available at a local retailer. If you go to daydreamapothecary.com, I'm gonna put the link in the description below. You can find a local retailer. Some of them do ship online as well. There are retailers in Singapore and in Europe and in the United States, and they are constantly growing. If you want to become a retailer for them, you can also apply there. Until next time, this is my favorite piece of all time, even if it's not yours. All right guys, love you, see you later, happy creating, and bye.